Hey everybody, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today we're going to be checking out the line of BoatBuckle Protective Boat Pads for your tie-down straps. So as many of you boat owners know, to keep these things going and looking good is not cheap. And that includes the finish. Especially those of you that have a gel coat finish or maybe even aluminum boat with a painted finish. It doesn't really take much to start to damage it, especially when it comes down to your tie-down point. So when you're trailering a boat or even in storage, you know you're gonna have your straps on it. And you wanna make sure these are tight, that way your boat's secure and everything else. Well, it doesn't take very long after you do that a few times and you're going down the road, or even in storage when you just have constant pressure from your strap on your boat, it is gonna leave a mark. Like I said, whether you have that gel coat, it's going to start, kind of making it hazy there, if that makes sense, and wearing away at that gel coat, or the paint's going to start, fading and kind of stripping away and wearing down. And that's the last thing that we want. You try to take care of everything else and keep it running good, looking good. So that's going to include, the finish of your boat. And so one thing you can do to prevent that from happening is use a simple protector like this here. And really all this is going to do is put a relatively thick layer, around your boat wherever the strap goes to. So on ours today, we have a strap going across a gunwale all the way across, and you can see the strap's not going to make contact with the edge of it there. And not to mention, I don't care how tight you get the strap. A lot of times, especially on slick aluminum like this, a lot of times you can actually kind of push that strap back and forth. And with this on there, it's kind of grippy, almost like a soft rubber. It's really malleable, if that makes sense. And when that's on there, it keeps that thing secure. I mean, I'm pushing the whole boat right now just with 2 fingers on the pad, so kind of gives it a little extra stability as well. You know what I mean? It kind of keeps that strap where you want it. So what's cool about these two is, you can use them pretty much however you want. This is how I tie my boat down. I just run it from side to side. So this is how I would use these. But I know a lot of guys tie them down at the transom, at the back of the boat. And that's perfectly fine. These things can slide, wherever you want them on the strap. So however you tie your boat down, you're going to be able to use them, more or less. Now, these particular ones we're showing off today are 3 inches wide. And they're really designed to work with straps that are 2 inches, and that's the strap that we have here. It's a boat buckle strap. These things are really cool too, really nice straps actually. But you can see, you get a little bit of play there on each side, and works out really well. If you have the smaller straps, the ones that are 1 inch in diameter or 1 inch wide, there's also these protector pads that are available in that size too. So regardless of what strap you have, at least the common sizes, you're gonna be able to pick these up and use them. So after kind of checking these out and kind of talking about some of the situations that these can be used in and things like that, what we thought of is the fact that they're yellow. They're really bright, easy to see, okay? Well, I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm pulling the boat down the road, you definitely want to kind of keep an eye on it. You look out the back window and make sure everything looks good. This wouldn't really apply so much to those of you that tie it back at the transom, but like this, when you have them like this, if you're looking out the back window, you can see these things, right? They're super bright, really easy to see. And my thought was, if something happens to your strap, maybe it loosens up a little bit on you or something like that, chances are pretty good the protector pad is gonna move. These things slide pretty easy, believe it or not, on the strap whenever it's not tied down like this. So you kind of use it like a quick indicator. You know what I mean? So if that strap loosens up and a few minutes later down the road, you take a peek and you notice this ain't in position anymore, chances are pretty good you should probably pull over to the side of the road or into that gas station, wherever you can, and check things out. So the way these actually work are super simple. You're just gonna take one end of your strap, kind of feed it through that little opening there. Same deal with this one. And then you're able to, position it how you need it. Now these do make a great set when used with the boat buckle straps. But I will say, if you have kind of the run-of-the-mill strap, you don't have to use the boat buckle strap for these to work. So here's kind of just, you know, a generic good old strap. You can still get these through there and still be able to run them as well. So if that's your scenario, you know, you're not going to have to worry too much about it. They're still going to do the job. So for those of you that are wondering, the ones we're checking out today, this is the larger protector pad available. So I said they're 3 inches wide earlier, but they're going to be a total of 7 inches long from top to bottom. And the part here that actually is going to do the protecting is 1/8 of an inch thick. So pretty thick actually. It's not a tiny little flimsy piece that you're relying on there. I do like how soft they are. You know, they're really pliable actually, but they don't feel like they're flimsy, if that makes sense. So I could see these being able to, you know, really contour and stuff, even for long periods of time, and you take them off and they're still pliable. I feel like if it was a kind of like that hard rubber material, I feel like, you know, that would do fine, but I could see after it sets for a year or something, you know, you take it apart, it'd probably end up falling apart. Or not to mention, some of that real hard rubber could eventually kind of dig into your boat. You know, aluminum, probably not such a big deal, but this fiberglass boats, you know, a little bit easier to damage the surface of them on. So kind of a good mix, and I think they really thought these things through and did many different types of situations that boaters would put them through. So at the end of the day, pretty cool little product actually, you know, really simple but very effective. It's a small investment to make to protect your boat's larger investment down the line. And that'll finish up our look at of the line of BoatBuckle Protective Boat Pads for your tie-down straps.